Dum, 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 bum, ba, bum, bum, dum, 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 dum. Okay. Hi, Aquarius. This is going to be your February 2020 reading with me, Kendrick from Providence Tarot. Today I'm going to be using the Urban Tarot deck. If you don't like the word urban, I'm sorry, that's what it's called. And that is by Robin Dunn. And then I'm going to also be using the Runes Oracle deck. Okay, as in the general energy, right? We're going to get that. And then we can clarify with the Keepers of the Light Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. Okay, so let me go ahead and shuffle the cards. I just want to say thank you to everybody who participated in the 2020 special. Yeah, thank you so much. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you're not yet. And also follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot. My personal account is NYC Kendrick. Okay, so we're going to shuffle the cards for this deck, and then I'm going to pull one out unless one flips out on its own. And then we will get started. One more. And I don't really know these cards like as well. I know them pretty okay. So if a card comes out that like, I'm kind of unfamiliar with, then I'll like probably see if I can grab the book. If I don't have the book here, then tough luck. Okay, so let me look at the top card. All right, so this card is talking about aggression. This is Hagalaz. This is talking about, you know, needing there to be more aggression, or maybe there is more aggression somewhere. Maybe someone is being aggressive, right? Because if you look at the card, I don't know if you can see it that well, but there's kind of like a call to action from this aggression that you might be getting from someone else. Someone might be coming on strong, and that's kind of like that idea of the leopard or the panther going after the horse or the colt. Okay, it's kind of like imposing as well. It's almost strategizing or waiting to pounce. You know what I mean? It's almost like that hunger or that aggression. So let me go ahead and lay the cards out from the Urban Tarot deck. I haven't used this one in a while, but it's kind of like been calling to me to use it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do an ascendant spread. And then I'll clarify with the Keepers of the Light, because I feel like I'm definitely going to have to, right? How was your new moon? What's going on? I feel like you guys are trying to something probably was hidden for you around that new moon energy, but you were curious of something, right? And it's kind of like a dark moon. So that black moon, that new moon energy sort of makes things seem kind of more hidden, figure out what's going on with your subconscious. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip it over one more time, or shuffle it one more time, and then I'm gonna lay it out. Thanks for watching, everybody. I might be doing a special for February. It will only be love readings. Okay, and I have a couple of spreads that I use for those love readings. Okay, I'm gonna take the first card that came out, not the other ones. Oh my god. All right, so the Six of Wands came out. It's, this card is talking about victory, right? It's also talking about the beauty of victory, and it's like getting what you want, right? Because it's Jupiter and Leo. It's talking about the expansions of your heart, or the growth of your heart, or gained respect, right? Because Leo is talking about respect. That is the sign that opposes you, and that's where this full moon will be, right? So I feel like around this time of the new moon, you will be feeling like you have gained more respect from people, maybe even from authorities, people that you might be working with, because it is a six. So it's talking about, practicing something, doing a good job at something. Practice makes perfect. The sixth house is talking about, your practical habits and how you can achieve something through your practical habits, right? Making things possible by way of your assertion through, your healthy patterns, right? It's also saying that you're getting back some information. You're getting some praise back from your hard work. Through your hard work, you've stayed the course. You know what I mean? You probably asked the right questions. You considered the principles, right? All of the different variables, right? It's talking about longevity as well. So you're working on something that's going to bring you longevity. This is definitely a winning card, right? It's good. I'm gonna put it back in the deck and I'm gonna shuffle it again, okay? Right. so there's some changes that might be occurring with you, you know what I mean? And it really does have to do with that level of growth that the Six of Wands is bringing up, right? Because you made it past something, right? With that Jupiter and Leo energy. And that Jupiter Leo energy also is kind of like very showy. So you might be showing off in some kind of way, right? You might be feeling like you want to show off in some kind of way. Or you might just be feeling like the energy of the sun that rules Leo naturally is giving you a jolt of energy. You're feeling like you have the justification to move forward with something, being that those are wands, right? It's Leo, so it's something that's sustained. You know, something has already been set in motion, you know, so it is going to be what it's going to be, regardless or regardless as to whether or not someone is trying to stop something, right? So there is no way that anybody can stop you being what you naturally are, right? Okay. Creativity is at play here. You're starting to understand your emotions a little bit more. Things are becoming a little bit more clear to you. You're starting to understand the value of, you know, really listening to your emotions and trying to learn what they're teaching you, even asking yourself the right question. You know, the Princess of Cups is talking about exercising your creativity and how you can also cope with your emotional process by pouring some of that into your creative process, whatever that is, whether it's drawing, playing music, dancing, uh, um, celebrating creativity in some kind of way, whether it's from other people, something like that. You know what I mean? It's music, it's art, it's dance, it's going out and celebrating, you know, people in general. You know, this is also putting some positive energy and focus back into yourself. What is it that you need? You know what I mean? You're understanding that you have needs that need to be met too. You're starting to realize that. You're like, wait, what have I been giving up? Because the pages or the princesses are talking about youthful energy, right? And sometimes with that youthful energy, when you're dealing with emotions, you might be giving away more than you're getting back, right? You might just be it can be confusing sometimes with young people and emotions. So somebody might be confused by their feelings. This is also talking about the ideal situation, right? It could be a false start in love or in a relationship, or it could be a false start in understanding the feelings, right? The feelings could be changing as well. There's something that's being taught to you here, because the Princess of Cups is water and it's earth, right? So there's something that you can apply, that you can you know, make part of your reality, or something that's going to change your reality, because the princesses are talking about changes in your process, changes in your emotional process, so you feel differently about something, and you're starting to realize that that has weight for you. Okay, let me cut the deck. I don't even think that I've done that yet. All right, let me check the time. 8 minutes. All right, so at the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Swords. That is very much tied to your energy, Aquarius, because the fours are related to the Emperor and also the oh shit. The fours are related to the Emperor, and you know, so are the kings. Or in this case, it's the princes in this deck. Okay, so I was just thinking of the Four of Swords before I started doing this reading, and the Four of Swords is talking about, you know, it's Jupiter, so it's talking about growth, it's talking about expansion, it's talking about foundations, right? It's definitely talking about your foundations, the way that you think and your perspective. It's talking about gained perspective. And the gained perspective is that you yourself have to, you know, come from a place of assertion, right? What is your opinion, right? What is your opinion of yourself? How do you see yourself, right? And it's also talking about not looking to others to formulate, you know, your truth, right? No one else can tell you what your truth is. Don't let somebody else dictate what your truth is either, because the four is related to the Emperor, right? It's that sense of trying to control through communication, psychologically, right? We're looking at trying to bring something back into form, or we're trying to bring your coming into the stable mind, right? We're even questioning if somebody is mentally stable at this point. You know what I mean? That's what the fours are talking about. and it's Jupiter, right? And it's the growth of the concerns within a relationship. Yeah. The fours are also talking about, that's sort of like an angel number, right? What the fours are talking about conflict and resolution as well. So this could be like the growth of a conflict in the mind, right? Because Libra's dealing with conflict, right? Weighing things out. Uranus esoterically rules Libra. Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius. That energy trines itself, right? So we're dealing with some changes that are going to be happening within your reality and your foundation as you know it in your mind. Something has changed in your mind, right? The growth of something in your mind, right? Bringing a lot of focus to something. And someone wants something, right? There's something that needs to be proven here through action, yeah? Because it's a four related to the Emperor. And the action might even have to be the communication, right? I'm burning lavender and fennel here, and fennel is good for a communication. So we're talking about that. Definitely because it's four of swords. And there's a truce here. So that's the resolution, right? Because there is conflict. So there has to be an understanding that is met, right? Look at that four of swords. That ain't nothing but square energy, opposition, squares, right? Tension. In the center of the reading, you have the Emperor. I was just talking about that. So this is you needing to assert something, right? You want something, you have to show, you have to prove that that's what you want. If you're not showing or saying or trying to, convey what you want, you're not going to get what you want. You know what I mean? And this four is related to the fourth house too. So it's talking about not letting your fear or not letting your emotions get in the way. It also is talking about achievement, right? Achieving something. And then it's also some transformative energy, transferring of energy, transmitting of energy, transitioning into something, right? The Emperor is kind of like very much putting his emotions aside so that he can really focus on what is in front of him, right? Not being disillusioned by the emotions, not carrying that weight. The Emperor does not want to carry that weight of emotions because he knows it's going to slow him down. Crossing you, the Fool. Didn't I just talk about how Uranus rules about change? Like I said, the Emperor does not want to carry that weight of the water around with him. The Fool is talking about not carrying the weight, right? Releasing it. No worry, optimism, right? If you take this risk, if you take this jump, there's something that's supporting you, right? This is talking about the possibilities and the probability of a new beginning. This is talking about change. You have the Fool as your immediate influence crossing you as the Emperor here. Okay? The Fool is also talking about radical changes, things that sort of like sweep you off your feet or pull the rug from underneath you. So this assertion that you're going to be, projecting or objecting someone to, perhaps, might make it feel like the rug is being pulled from underneath. The Fool is also talking about, something being amplified, right? Because Uranus amplifies things. Okay? Getting the perspective, being able to see the big picture. Wow, that's amplified. A sound, right? Surround sound. It's almost like the Fool is so loud. Really. All right, so let's look at your past position. You have Dominion, right? The Lord of Dominion, which is actually the Two of Wands. This is talking about transferring of energy, right? Between two people, passions between two people, or passionately moving forward with something in the past, right? This is also sexual energy because it's Mars and Aries. Mars and Aries has an instinctual sexual nature, right? It's also related to submitting to that, giving into that. The twos is related, right? One place to another, that energy being transferred, okay? Right? And this is talking about, moving forward together. That's the question, right? Who are we together? Are we moving forward together? Am I moving forward with something? Right? Dominion, domino, dominance, right? No one. It takes two. It takes two people to tango. If there's only one person that's involved in something, or that's, you know, more interested, right? Because Mars Aries is very interested, is very prominent. You know, this talks about there being two sides here, right? And there could be someone that's dominating in a partnership, perhaps. This could even have to do with work in the past, you know what I mean? Some risky behavior or some you know, conflict probably between two people at work, perhaps, right? This Two of Wands is also talking about changing something, right? Feeling the power of change, okay? That is strong and dominates you. The power of change dominates you so much that you can't ignore it. And the twos are also talking about what you allow or what you ignore as well. You know, ignoring behavior, allowing behavior, right? Okay, let's look at the sun position. Three of Pentacles. This is good. So you're focused on your work, and that's what you should be on. You should be focused on what you're building. The Three of Pentacles is a job well done, right? In the pre-shuffle, you got the Six of Wands. This Three of Pentacles is talking about, really building something that's going to last. It's Mars and Capricorn, okay? Mars is going to be conjunct the galactic center around the time of the full moon in Leo in a couple of days, in a few days. Then it's actually going to be going in Capricorn, in your 12th house of hidden things. So Mars is going to be coming in and it's going to be putting some assertion and some drive and some energy into that which you may have been blocked from before. You may have been blocking yourself. The threes do also talk about what you might be ignoring, right? Or what you might be allowing as well. It's related to the Queen of Pentacles, this Three of Pentacles, right? Because the queens are related to the Empress and she's number 3 major arcana. So this is talking about working hard, right? That's what you need to be doing. Putting your focus, your drive, your energy into yourself, into your work, into building things, right? Lasting things, networking, you know? The threes are talking about multiplicity. There's a lot of work to be done here. Okay? And we don't want anything coming in here and influencing your work in any sort of like negative way, right? You have a lot of responsibilities here. Or a few, right? Your creative energy needs to be channeled somewhere. I feel like you might be feeling a little bit restless with this Mars and Aries energy here. Okay? And the Fool crossing the Emperor. You're restless about something. Could have to do with the time. It could have to do with the feminine energy, being that this is a 3 here. And also this 2 is a feminine energy as well, because that house is Taurus, right? That talks about a commitment. Yes. Shared things, shared resources, right? Okay? And what you might be submitting to, because when you share resources, you're giving part of yourself, you're submitting part of yourself, right? You know, with somebody else, you're stronger, but then you can also be weakened too. In the moon position, wow, you have gains here. And this is beautiful because in the sun position, you got work. works, things that we got multiplicity times 3 here with the 9 of Pentacles, because you're giving 3 times 3. Beautiful, right? And it's talking about foundations. What you have been working on, this is part of what you've been wishing for, right? You've been planning, because the 9 of Pentacles is not energy that is like just letting things happen, right? It's assertion, because it's a 9. It's going for it. It's going inward and discovering what really matters, right? We are talking about what matters with this Mars and Capricorn here. The 3 is the Empress, and that's the mother. And the mother gives birth to something that matters, that is matter. Something that comes into form, right? So something that's coming into form for you, and it's something that is justified, right? It's coming from a place of knowledge, right? This is a path that you've been on, and you're experiencing what all the work that you've done on this path is starting to show itself and starting to pay off. That's why you're up here at this 9. This is the stage before you get to the wealth card, right? It's talking about your goals as well. You're starting to meet some goals. You're starting to see some things develop, because the 9s are talking about developments that are happening as you move forward. And then it's talking about the Hermit, which is saying that you are discovering a side of yourself that you were looking for, because it talks about a search, right? It talks about, going inward on a journey of introspection, right? There have been some developments that have happened that have caused you to see, where things are actually going for you. There's more things to come of it too. You're also trying to distance yourself, right? From something, because the 9s are talking about distancing yourself from something. You've evolved, right? You've changed. Something has changed, right? Really, right? It's not in your mind. It actually really has changed. It might have to do with the relationship, because this is Venus and Virgo, and Venus and Virgo is in its fall, right? So this could be talking about how a relationship or something that once brought you pleasure doesn't necessarily align with your reality anymore, right? You're sort of further away from that reality. This is an escape as well. Because you see how she's in the hot tub escaping. She's got the cucumbers on her eyes, right? Not paying any attention to anything but what she needs to spiritually. Because it really is talking about, nurturing a part of yourself, right? Through your efforts to sort of like create something real for yourself. Career wise. Definitely has to do with career. Okay. Let's look at your anxieties. Ooh, this is wonderful. And these are anxieties, and it's also, hopes and fears. Abundance, right? 3 of Cups. Good card. Champagne, cakes. This is like your birthday, right? Your birthday basically has come up. You may have experienced some things on your birthday that may have given you some anxieties around the time when you were meant to be celebrating. That's okay. Things happen around that birthday time because the sun is there bringing focus to some things, right? And it's very karmic. This 3 of Cups is, related to the Queen of Cups, which has a need to express something. So you have anxieties because you want to communicate your feelings. You want to express, what you've been thinking about, right? Something has been on your mind, right? Motivating you, right? So your anxieties are motivating you to want to communicate your feelings, okay? Because this 3 of Cups is related to the third house of Gemini, right? This could even have to be with the mother, right? There could be some things going on with the mother. The harmony might be a little bit off, or the flow might be a little bit off. Or this could be any sort of like feminine energy in your life, Or it could be with the siblings, right? Because it's a 3, and that also rules the siblings, okay? Custody with children, and also you might be having anxieties about going out and dating again, right? or being with people that you can have a good time with, right? You might be feeling guilty about having a good time or something like that, right? You know, abundance is yours, right? It's all around you, right? With this Three of Pentacles here, which is directly related to this Three of Cups, okay? And then you have this Venus and Virgo card here, Nine of Pentacles. This Three of Cups is Venus and, sorry, no, it's Mercury in Cancer, right? And Mercury is talking about, you know, communication, networking. Cancer is talking about, you know, home and family, nurturing, protection, right? Emotional instinct, right? Creativity, you know. And Mercury is channeling your creativity, right? Right? And that's going to feed you too, right? Channeling your creativity is feeding you. But there's something that's being born here. There's something that's growing here too. You're experiencing this growth, right? In your work, in your career, just in your life in general. You're going through a growth process, a stage, right, of renewal as well, with this Fool card being here. You know? In your Mars position, you have indolence, which is the Eight of Cups. This is talking about loss, right? Saturn and Pisces. This is talking about not being able to change the past, you know? Not bringing so much focus and so much obsessive nature to trying to make things better, because this is talking about compassion as well. You know, this Eight of Cups is related to the Strength card, yes, and it's related to the eighth house. We're talking about changing something. We're talking about a transition here that needs to take place, right? It almost is kind of like you're in two places at one time. Yeah. The boundaries have been dissolved, and it's almost kind of like you're kind of stuck in this place of not really knowing like where the margins lie. You know, how far can I go? How far does this go? How far to go? How far do I go with this? How much time do I spend on this? You know, how much time do I spend trying to work on something or trying to make something right that isn't going to be right? You know, because this eight of cups is like, you know, being stuck because of your fears, right? That's, you know, very much like heavy emotional energy, right? And we don't want to have a rush of emotional energy be used as a weapon, right? Because we've been holding back so much, you know? Try to see if you can do something about that. You know? Stop fighting this karmic ending. Because the eights are talking about transformation, right? You remaining transfixed on something. In the Venus position, you got oppression, which is the Ten of Wands. This is talking about, you know, feeling a great weight of responsibility, right? Something is very obvious to you, like the mountain that you would have to climb. Imposing energy. Something is sort of like overwhelmingly imposing, right? It's almost making you feel like your hands are tied. Maybe even with a relationship, or with like you know, a Venus ruled person, feminine energy. It's a 10, so it's related to the 10th house of Capricorn. It's also related to the Wheel of Fortune, right? Which is ruled by Sagittarius. And this is talking about, you know, cycles ending, right? The cycle of oppression has to end. This cycle of oppression is coming to an end. Basically, it's an ending that's going to bring a new beginning for you. And that's what we're looking for. Now let's look at your future cards. Wow, strength. Strength in the outcome and the energy moving forward, right? Leo energy. It's an 11. So it's related to you, Aquarius. It's talking about confidence, right? But a quiet confidence, right? That's why we're saying we're not going to get into this energy of, outlandishness or forcefulness. Wow, these cards are pretty new. But the strength card is also talking about weighing out a situation, making the right decision that's going to be best for you. You know, the strength card is understanding that there are going to have to be sacrifices that are made as well, because Pluto is exalted in Leo, right? And that's energy that is kind of like, it squares you and it opposes you. So the transformative energy, sometimes you feel like you don't have to actually do away with things. You can keep what works for you. But sometimes what works for you may not work for your future, right? It may have worked for some old aspect of you or some old part of you. You might identify with that still, but that doesn't mean that you can take that with you in your future. You have to kind of leave it where it is. And that's how you still make it work for you, by leaving it where it is, right? Because you can create great memories and then you can also create not so great memories. And when we get into starting to create not so great memories, then that's probably when we need to stop. Because why do you want to create terrible memories? Right? So let's go ahead and look at the future card for you. The Hacker, Prince of Swords. Okay. So this is the King of Swords, right? It's double air. And this is you, Aquarius. Wow. So this is you sort of like reprogramming things, you know? Re you know, recalibrating your energy, right? It's kind of like doing that upgrade, you know? Upgrading that operating system, changing how you operate, right? And it's also coming from a place of duty, right? And feeling like you have a responsibility, right? To just kind of like log the information, apply the information, you know? And it's also trying to figure some things out. It's also talking, it's also communicating, it's chatting from a distance, right? Because you see how he's on these computers here. He's chatting, he's talking from a distance, long distance communication. Oh, thank you so much. It's been a while since I've been on just because I had a lot going on. I moved and I do a lot of the weeklies. The weeklies always go up, and I'm just getting back into the monthlies, okay? I love you guys. Please continue to watch. Oh, I'm going to do Cancer as well. I am. All right, so we got one more card for you, Aquarius, and then we got your Keepers of the Light card that we're going to pull. I don't think I have any other ones. Futility. Futile. It is Moon in Aquarius, and we had a new moon, right? So this new moon Aquarius had you thinking about moving forward with something, right? It's almost kind of like the sevens are related to that energy of Cancer, and you just said it, the Chariot, right? You've probably been complacent in your mind because your feelings have been holding you back. The feeling, the emotional intensity has kept you in one place. You know what I mean? And you may have been ignoring a hidden truth because the moon is talking about hidden things. The sevens are talking about what you might choose to ignore, right? The sevens are also talking about weighing things out, weighing out the facts. Because when you know the facts, you can ignore the facts as well. So you're choosing to ignore. And by doing nothing, you're actually doing something. You know? Let's look at the card from the Keepers of the Light. I'll read it. El Moriah, Awakening Presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. I don't even know if I cut this deck, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the bottom, and then I'm going to look at the bottom or look at the top card here. Wow, that was amazing. I'm seeing sparks. I don't know why or where that came from. White Eagle, Ancestor Spirit, connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Since I shuffled these, now I'm going to cut them, which I don't know if I did. And then I'm going to look at the bottom again. Serapis Bay, Ascension, move into your true self. Rise above the darkness, the light is here. And at the top, Isis, magic manifesting. Your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming reality. Stay focused. And that goes back to this Nine of Pentacles, right? Goal oriented, the nines. Dreams, it's a nine related to the moon, 18, right? And the Hermit, realizing something, going inward and realizing something, right? What are your goals founded on? Why do you have those goals, right? Ask yourself those questions. Right, we already pulled the card here that was talking about aggression, right? Assertion. Something is happening, right? Where you're gonna have to assert yourself, right? If people are getting too aggressive around you, then you know that you need to pull back, right? Or maybe you need to communicate that because you have the Four of Swords here, you know? All right, Aquarius, I'm so happy that I was able to do this for you. Let me see how long the video was. 37 minutes. Okay, work. If you guys could like the video, share, subscribe, and definitely comment. The weeklies are up here on YouTube, and they're also up on the IG channel, right? Yeah. See you later, Aquarius.